What would you say to a student that wants to make an impact in the world right now? Like, there's so much going on in the world right now, politics, movements, Rona,
Yeah.
right? How do students make a difference, and what does that look like for them?
Yeah, that's again another just really good question, because I think everybody wants to make a difference, and so many people are questioning how do I do that. My thing has always been, my conviction has always been, I'm going to live as much like Jesus as I can. I'm going to focus on becoming more like Jesus every single day, because Jesus had a life of impact, but it was also a life that was all about others. And the thing that I've found is, the closer I get to God, the more my life is just, I want to live it for others. I want to live it loving others, serving others, being there for others, encouraging others. And I think that's huge. I think when your life is all about you, that's when you're having the least impact, and it's also when you have the least joy.
Yeah.
But when your life is given to Him as a living sacrifice, and you start to realize, man, God, my life isn't my own, I belong to you, and you're in His presence and you're experiencing His goodness, what He's going to do is your focus is on Him, and then He all of a sudden points you to other people that are in your world. There's not a shortage of people who are discouraged. So if you just walk around and you're an encourager, it makes a big difference. There's a lot of hate and division in our world. If you just walk around loving people like Jesus loved and promoting unity, you're going to make a difference.
That's good.
If you stay committed to something in our world right now, people like commitment when they feel like it, but then when they don't feel like it, they're just like, well, whatever, I'm going to lose the commitment. If you stay true to commitments, if you'll serve in the house of God, if you'll do those things and be faithful in them, your life will speak. I've always been a firm believer that if you'll lead by example, people will follow that.
Yeah.
I've never been a super vocal leader until like recently, like maybe the last 5-6 years. I'm more of a vocal leader now because of calling. But for years, I felt like, watch me live. And Paul talks about that. He says, follow me as I follow Christ. There was something so distinguished about Paul's life. There was something so set apart that he literally had the boldness to say, follow me as I follow Christ. Like, because if you follow me, you're going to be following Christ.
That's good.
I want to ask, if people were following your life, where would it lead them? If they're following just how you live, where would it lead them? I think that challenges me to just, man, like I said, become more like Jesus every day and keep that the focus and the impact. Like, God will use you in ways you never thought possible if you just stay true to that.
That's good. And you said something that I thought was crucial, is staying planted.
Yeah.
I see so many young people, the Lord tells them to do something or whatever it may be, and they stay for a moment, and because we're used to instant gratification, they shift.
Yeah.
Instead of being faithful and staying planted.
Yeah, man, that's so good. The Bible says whoever's planted in the house of the Lord, their life will flourish in the courts of our God. If you want your life to flourish, if you really want it to produce and make an impact beyond you, like, you got to stay planted.
You got to stay planted.
You have to stay planted. And I think the greatest opportunity for us to make the biggest impact is to make ourselves and be a part of something bigger than ourselves. And there's no better opportunity than the church to be a part of something bigger than ourselves, to be a part of something that God's doing. I always say it this way, if Jesus is building it, then I want to be a part of it. Jesus said, I'm going to build my church, and the gates of hell won't prevail against it. The gates of hell will try to prevail against it, but they won't. Why? Because He said He's going to build His church. If He's building it, man, then I want to be on His team, on the front lines, building what He's building. And I think when you do that, and you have that heart, and you stay committed to it, you'll be amazed. I look at my life, and there's no reason like I should have gotten some of the opportunities that I've gotten, and that I should have been able to have some of the influence that I've been given even within our church. But I attribute it to just being planted.
Right.
And giftings that I didn't even know were there started to get pulled out of me. It's like when you devote yourself to being planted, God does, I love Ephesians 3:20, He does immeasurably more than you could ask, think, hope, or imagine, both in and through your life. And looking back over my life, I never would have thought that shy kid that knocked over a microphone back in high school would now be using a microphone to minister to hundreds of high school, hundreds of college students, minister to our church at times, and things like that. It is amazing what God will do with your life when you stay planted and you give it to Him.
won't he do it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a hashtag. You should hashtag that.
Yeah, so good.